Welcome to the Young and the Restless, the Pop Culture's WWE podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Betson, alongside...
I'm the person who tried to run over Roman Reigns, Jem.
You can listen to us every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on them YouTubes. If you want to watch us record this show live and potentially watch SmackDown, because we're always running behind on a Thursday. We like a little SmackDown watch along. We sort of have a chat before the show kicks in. So head over to patreon.com/thepopculturist, and for any dollar value, any tier, get yourself a nice little sneaky link to come watch us have some chats. And if you want to support us in more once-off fashion, head over to thepopculturist.com/shop and buy shirts like this and other assorted shit. That beanies aren't sellable there. These are once-offs. Because sadly they don't do headwear at TeePublic. But yeah, when we're once-off fashion, there's this another sort of shit that logos on it. I mean, of course, we are also on Twitch at twitch.tv/thepopculturist, where we just yesterday at time of recording did our SummerSlam prediction stream with the Power of WWE 2K19. When we talk about 2K19 for too much longer. But how are you, Jem?
I'm good, man.
I'm
good. It's been a good week. Things get on the amend. Obviously, we weren't here last week, so that was a bit of a Debbie Downer. But
we should explain what's going on there too. Why weren't you here last week?
I was in an accident 2 weeks ago. So I came from the accident here. We recorded 2 weeks ago, all peachy. And then I discovered when I got home the following day that my tire had been punctured from the accident. And I had
two tires.
Yep, 2 tires are punctured. One of them I had to swap over for the spare donut tire, which means it's not drivable for long distances. But luckily my car isn't getting repaired now, and I have a hire car in the meantime. So
yeah,
all good. How are you doing, man? How you going?
Garbage, absolute garbage. So I don't think I mentioned it last week. So if you listen to my other shows, you would have heard that I thought that I had pulled my boob muscle wrestling my kid. Turns out it's a bit worse than that. I got shingles, which is essentially your body goes, oh, you had chicken pox once. Like, yeah. Because guess what? Symptoms again. Bam.
Oh, no.
But because you're older, it sucks way harder.
Yeah, of course.
So that hurts because it's rocking my nervous system, which is awesome. So I have nothing but like piercing hot burn pains from my sternum through to my lower back, and it's incredibly inconsistent. It's just, there's always this not numbing, it's always this sort of like pain, and then out of nowhere it kind of shanks you a bit harder.
Oh no, yep, I know that pain.
Yes, like I am a little pilled up right now, but it just seems to mildly dull it. So it's interesting. So there may be moments where I'll be mid-sentence and I'll stop, or I won't say anything at all. Because it hurts.
Because he's getting shanked. I'm secretly sitting here with a knife just stabbing him.
Very true.
Shits and giggles.
Very true. But, the show's important to tens of you. So we keep doing it.
Go on.
Hopefully it can. But as I mentioned, we won't be talking about much about 2K19 anymore. Because while we've been away, 2K sent me a nice little email. And in the world. 2K20 is on its way.
Whee!
Coming October 22nd. That's the same week as WWE Live here in Australia.
Woohoo!
So
happy birthday to me.
Yeah, so we have confirmation on who's on the cover.
We do.
And as predicted, the man, Becky Lynch. However, unpredicted and also weird, Roman Reigns is joining her.
Yes, yeah.
Very, very weird. So the big dog and the man.
Yeah, very interesting.
So it kind of ties in with what they're looking to do this year. They are looking, so they've now brought in mixed tag team matches.
Yes,
which is cool. Explains the man and the woman on the cover.
Yeah,
it's very,
that's
very
awesome.
Cool. Another changes including the showcase mode, which is focusing on the 4 horsewomen.
Yes.
So Becky, Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley.
Yep.
Very, very cool. There was something else about women in there of having a tough time. Yes, right. Women's campaign. Yeah, man. One of the biggest things that I was looking forward to this year was the women's campaign. Because when I did 2K19 and I finished it, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go back and do it as a woman. Oh wait, I can't. That's
bit shit.
That's a bit shit. But yeah, now I can do that. It makes me very happy.
Right.
It is available in 3 versions. There's a standard edition, the deluxe edition, and the collector's edition. I've already got in the collector's edition.
Of course.
It comes with a couple cool things. There's no like big time DLC, which is cool. It comes with the game. This thing is like almost like a season pass. These things with WWE originals, which looks to be almost like Elseworld stories. So in the gameplay trailer thingy that Xavier Woods did, it showed like a Frankenstein Brawn and like a Wolfman Bray.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't know where they're going with that, but it's pretty cool. And Killer in the chat says he's also pre-ordered the collector's edition.
Love it.
Is the SmackDown 20th anniversary edition, which is very, very cool.
Interesting.
It also comes with a small square of one of the aprons.
Oh, nice.
There's a window. It doesn't exactly say. It may say where exactly it's from. I think it's a SmackDown apron.
Yeah.
It also comes with a signed photo of either Edge, Rey Mysterio, or
Kurt Angle.
Yeah, Kurt Angle. Sorry. And then there's also some Supercard stuff, which I haven't really jumped into. Cause I have Supercard installed on my phone, but I've never really given it a red hot go. Where like I know Killer, big fan of Supercard. He has his own little channel where he plays some Supercards. I've gone in there, checked that a couple times here and there, just to try suss out Supercard.
Yeah.
Because I've been playing a lot of WWE Universe
Yeah.
on my phone. But apparently, Supercard's like where it's at.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Let me do a quick check. Was there anything else? I don't think there was anything else. What's your thoughts on where they're going here?
I'm really excited. I think, obviously being a woman forever, literally forever, I've wanted a women's campaign. And I'm stoked that we're finally getting that. It's really, really exciting. It'll be interesting to see that showcase mode, obviously with the 4 horsewomen and stuff like that. That'll be really interesting as well. And yeah, like I think, graphically it looks like obviously they're constantly progressing. It looks like the best it may be so far, except for that one little bit in the trailer that you mentioned to me.
Yeah, like when Nia Jax's boob goes through the rope. See, the thing is, it does kind of look the same as 2K19, which is fine. That's the problem with annual releases. There's no real big graphic jump. But at least we hear there's a lot more back-end work, which is what I'm sort of interested in. Now, this is the first one in a long time, I think. Is it Yuri Games? One of the teams that have worked on WWE games for like the longest time. They're off working on another wrestling game. And I don't believe it's WWE. This is the first time that, they've been actively not part of a 2K project. So, So I keep getting fucking stabbed in the underarm. Yeah. Whew.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm very excited. Yeah. So, what I'm personally hoping, before I get into that, so the one thing that I'm a little bummed about, I thought they really should have doubled down with just having Becky on the front.
Yeah.
Give Becky 2 belts, perhaps.
Yeah.
Like with the showcase mode being focused on the women. With so much of it being about
the ladies,
which
so it should be. It's about
just
time.
Give her front and center, man. Like that's where it needs to be. But I understand like why Roman's pretty hot again ish right now. It also hits the mixed tag thing. It's fine. It's not the best, but it
could be worse.
Could be totally worse.
Yeah. Killer did just mention that the studio you just mentioned have been working on WWE games since SmackDown in 1999.
Ooh.
Wowza.
That's a
long ass time.
Yeah, 20 years.
20
years working in the same brand, so
yeah, it's about time they ventured out.
Yeah, man. Big time. Is there anything else? No? Yes? No? Yes? No? I think we're good.
Except for the shows this week.
Yeah, so in the show this week, because as we always do, we just break down what happened this week's in Raw and SmackDown. Kicking things off is you.
Me this time. With Raw in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, I think.
Yeah.
So the show opened with everybody, the entire roster for the evening, standing on stage in silence. And had big screen with like the El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio. I think the day prior or something like that, there had been some mass shootings. So they asked the arena to stand with them in silence. They did the bell ring in remembrance of the victims.
Shootings. It was pretty gnarly.
Yeah, so it was a very, very somber opening to the show. And then it kicked into their intro video and stuff like that. And we come back and Samoa Joe is standing on the announce table screaming at Michael Cole, like completely berating him, basically saying like, I've been getting berated all week by the WWE Universe. Everybody thinks that the trellis thing that fell on Roman Reigns was Samoa Joe's fault.
Yeah, so content obviously with us and me here last week, there was an attempt on Roman's life.
There was.
Not really, kind of escaped pretty well.
Yeah, that's the thing. They don't know if it was deliberate or incidental. Before I had watched the episode, I did see that WWE confirming it was an accident and a forklift driver had knocked the trellis over, which fell onto Roman as he was walking up to an interview with Kayla to talk about who he's challenging at SummerSlam. He come out of it pretty well unscathed. But yeah, Joe's like, Cole, it's your fault. You mentioned my name. Everybody's blaming me. Like, this show does not go on tonight until I get an apology, and I want it from Roman Reigns. Like, I will shut this show down. We will not go anywhere unless we do it. He's on the table, like, yelling in his face, and Corey Graves is trying to talk him down, like, Joe, like, you've got to understand, like, clearly everybody thinks you've got the motive and stuff like that, but it has been confirmed it was an accident. We know you didn't do it. And Joe's like, I don't care. I want an apology. And then Michael Cole pipes up with like the whole, well, there was a poll done and 80% of the universe says that like they think it's you. And he's like, 80% of the WWE universe are idiots. I was just like, that's beautiful.
It was a very cool cut to have Joe just tearing face.
Yeah, straight away you come back from the intro and Joe's just screaming at Michael Cole. It was in some big dorky round glasses too. Like Cole looked like an idiot this week. I'm not going to lie.
Cole's always an idiot.
But it was just beautifully done. Like Joe was just in his face the entire time. And then as he's sort of berating them, Becky Lynch just walks out and she's like, the show will go on. Does a little entrance, looks over at Joe, shrugs, come down to the ring for a tag team match, it is announced. She and Charlotte Flair.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, we're teaming up against their opponents, Trish and Natalya. So I guess champions versus opponents type thing. Champions. Yeah, that was interesting. I was like, oh, this is gonna go down. It'll be a bit of fun.
Yeah, actually, that's an interesting decision. Like, why? In terms of like, you would presume if they're doing the usual face v heel pre pay-per-view match, why are Becky and Charlotte lumped together? Wouldn't Trish technically be the face in this match?
I think it was very interesting. It's like good guy and bad guy versus good guy and bad guy. Like, I guess Natalya's essentially like the evil of these two. So,
well, Natalya's got the aggression going on right now. Definitely.
Becky is obviously and always has been the fan favorite. So yeah, I was stoked. I was like, oh yeah, Trish is gonna get in the ring. Super excited to see her wrestle again. But yeah, as always, huge Becky. Everybody was in it for Becky. But yeah, at some point, like the good match. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, it's always good to see Becky sort of. She and Natalya started the match. Good bit of a biffo. At one point, Becky tries to get the disarm her in, and as
we should also mention, prior to this match, they did officially announce that at SummerSlam, Becky and Natalya are having a submissions match.
Yes.
As a winner person can win by sub.
Yep. So last week what had happened was before the show, Natalya was being taught by Fit Finlay how to get out of the disarmer.
And a full-blown NXT style little clip of just someone getting jacked in the
Yep, and then Becky Lynch obviously comes out and just rips it on her and she's like, I'd like to see you get out of this. And then I think the following night, Natalya ends up getting a... No, never mind. I think that was this week. No, it was. I think, last... and then the following night or the same night, Natalya ends up locking in a sharpshooter on Becky and won't let it go. And, there ends up being this big ordeal. But, yeah, so as Becky's about to lock in the disarmer and Natalya, Charlotte tags herself in. She's like, go on, shoo. And just sort of rags Becky off. And then, a little biffo between her and Natalya. Trish doesn't end up in the ring at all, which I was disappointed about. And then, Natalya ends up, Becky ends up back in the ring. She tags herself back in. And Charlotte blindsides her and attacks her and then decides to walk off when all this happens. Natalya gets a sharpshooter, locks it in again. doesn't let go. Trish has to try and stop her, and she like shoves Trish real nasty out of the way. And then she just storms off, and like Becky was clutching her knee, the injured knee from last time, and Trish was trying to help her, and she's like, I'm fine, as she does. But yeah, after watching that, I have concerns about Becky's knee.
But it is I believe it may have been the same knee that was her problem coming into WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, it is a pre-worked knee. Mm-hmm. So I guess it's a smart move to go for that.
And the sharpshooter was a good move for that. Charlotte did say that her, I can't remember if it was tonight or a little bit earlier, she does claim that her, it would have been last week, she claims that her sharpshooter is superior to the inferior armbar that is the disarm her.
This is the thing. I would kind of agree because the sharpshooter also has the leg torque plus the push on the lower back, where the disarmer is just yanking on an arm a little bit. Like saying that though, like if you pull back hard enough, it could pop that shit out. But that would be, presumably more painful than just getting your lower back stretched out. I don't know. It's a tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one. But yeah, so it is confirmed that they're gonna have a submission match. That'll be interesting. So yeah, the only way you can win is by submitting somebody. So next we have a match: Rey Mysterio versus Andrade once again, which I always love seeing.
Always.
It's so good.
Follow up from last week where they had a bit of a kerfuffle in a qualifying gauntlet match for the US Championship. Where Andrade had attempted to yank the mask.
He tore Rey's mask
the mascaras of Rey.
Which Andrade used to wrestle in a mask. He knows how degrading that is and how...
Yeah, especially within the Lucha Libre wrestling thing. It's pretty huge to demask someone. So we've
already seen Rey unmasked though.
Yeah, it's not very cool. But that doesn't count as WCW, does it? It's different canon.
No, it wasn't the WWE.
No, it was WCW. Positive. Could be wrong though.
Maybe.
I'm wrong frequently.
Yeah.
Thank you for spotting that.
Yeah.
You're wrong all the time.
No. Yeah. No. I was like, no. I could be, but I'm positive it's WWE because I remember it. So I remember thinking, his face.
What else was I going with that? Oh yeah. So I'll let you talk about the match first.
Yeah. So good match as always. Love watching Rey and Andrade. Rey had a really good upper hand most of the match. Like obviously wanting retribution for the shit that was pulled the week prior. Yeah. The crowd erupted the entire match with 619 chants. As always, Zelina Vega got involved. At some point, Andrade does end up trying to rip the mask off Rey again, which Rey does end up stopping. Yeah, and then...
See, what this is sort of leading to, presumably, I was expecting a hair versus mascaras match at SummerSlam. This position doesn't hurt as much. I think I may have found my rest position.
Yay.
So I was expecting there may be like a hair versus mascaras match, as in whoever if you're the masked one, you lose your mask. If you lose and you're the hair man, you lose your hair.
Yeah.
And Andrade's hair has been getting mighty long. So we may not be seeing that at SummerSlam, obviously, so that would be a pretty huge match, and we'll get to it a little bit later, but that card is very, very full.
Yeah, it is very, very full.
So I think that may be something that they're building to after SummerSlam,
Yep. But so Andrade does try to get the mask off twice and gets pulled off by the referee. During the distraction, Zelina Vega does get a cheap shot and hangs Rey up in the ropes, which allows Andrade to get the win. So after that, we cut to like a video footage of Maria winning. So last week, Mike Kanellis won the 24/7 championship.
Yeah, so there was a match between Drake Maverick and R-Truth, one of those,
first ever mosh pit lumberjack match.
Yeah, a mosh pit match is essentially a lumberjack match, except it's a lumberjack match.
They literally crowd surfed Drake Maverick out and back in.
So yes, it was one of those, the 24/7 rules are,
disqualified from the match.
This is going. Truth wins, and as he's standing there celebrating, in come the horde swarm him, cover him, they're singing ding ding ding.
Referee's done a count, and Mike Kanellis
pegs
goes
it out with the
sprinting
belt, runs out the back, hides in one of the officials' rooms. Everyone's pounding on the door. Maria comes up and she's like, "Oi,
pulls the I'm pregnant card,
I'm pregnant, let me in, get out of the way." And she's at the door, she's like, "Let me in, Mike, let me in." He's like, "Well,
how do I know it's you?" And she's like, "I'll kick you in your vagina." And
so
he's like,
I'll kick in your vagina if you don't let. It's like, how do I know you're not one of the guys trying to being my wife? It's like,
how do I know you're not Carmella?
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna kick you in the vagina if you don't let me in. He's like, "Oh,
come here, babe." And then she's like, "Get on your back." And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Get on your back like you always do." Puts her foot on. She's like, "Referee count," and she takes the belt from him.
Yeah, say that her stance on her with the heel, on him with the heel, like someone's pounding out to that.
Yeah,
she's looking
100%. And then walks out like pregnant champ.
First
You want to go,
pregnant champion. So as she was walking out, she's rubbing that belt in everyone's faces,
rubbing a belly.
because gets in Titan's shit. Titus is a shit, sorry, and then no one wants to touch her, obviously.
No, and she does mention, she's like, "Next Thursday I have an OBGYN appointment. If anybody wants to come by while my feet are up in the stirrups and try and pin me, go ahead."
Yep.
Which leads us into this.
Correct.
So we do end up at the OBGYN, which is questionable.
No, it's very.
It was totally a backstage segment.
It's very clearly a
backstage
the back of that exact building.
Yeah, it was definitely. And she's there with Mike, obviously berating him as she does. And they go into the doctor's office, and while the doctor's washing her hands, she's like stressing out. And she's like, "You need to take care of me in the belt." And, he's like, "Yep, no worries." And he's like, "Just relax, babe. It's going to be okay. Just lay down. Just breathe. I'm going to take care of you." And like, sneakily, what he does is when he lays her down, he's like holding her very gently and kissing her on the cheek and stuff like that. And the doctor turns around, taps his back 3 times, rips off her coat. She's got the referee thing underneath. Mike grabs the title. And he's like, "I did it. I won." And he run out. And I was like, "You sneaky prick."
Yeah, I loved it.
That is a smart fucking husband.
It was actually brilliant.
It was brilliant. And then as he comes out, you can clearly see 2 people dressed up. You can tell it's Carmella and Truth hiding behind newspapers. Carmella dressed as a male, Truth dressed as a woman. And Mike's like, "You followed us to the OBGYN?" And he's like, "Oh, no, to the gynecologist appointment." And Truth is like, "OBG, not?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm having, my water broke." And he like drops this baby out of this dressing gown and like throws it at Mike, who catches it, and he like spears him and gets like the roll up and gets the title back and runs off. And he's like, "You got your baby and I got mine," and then runs off. And I was like, I love you, Truth.
Yeah, this is pretty quality.
It was so good to get it back on Truth. And the announcers, after watching this, and he has Carmella on his back as he always does, piggybacking her. But the announcers do mention that this is Truth's 11th 24/7 title reign. Mm-hmm. So the 24/7 champion. So this brings us back to the arena, and Charlie Caruso is interviewing Becky Lynch. She's like, "Do you think, because Natalia, we're going back to Toronto, Natalia has the country upper hand, like, do you think she does?" And Becky's like, "I sure hope so, because she's gonna need it, like, because I'm just gonna bring my all, because I'm Becky Lynch and I'm the man." Yeah. And then they do cut over to Sarah, who's like, "Natty, do you have a rebuttal?" And I don't remember what she said because it was just so hopeless. She's just like, "I'm going to look in the sharpshooter and you're going to tap out to the sharpshooter because I do the sharpshooter." That was pretty much it. Like, I just wrote, look, Natty kind of really sucks on the microphone.
Yeah, she's
which is a bummer.
She's saying that, like,
Take some pointers from Charlotte. Like, if you're going to do it properly. Because Charlotte's so good at being bad.
As long as I've been watching, I really feel that Natalia falls
flat, yeah. She
falls short. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Falls short on her promo work.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like she feels she reads like someone. Well, I say reads as in like she speaks like someone that's written it down in her head and she's talking it out. So that everyone else feels like they're talking from the heart, from the feeling, and
she's got her cue cards.
Oh.
Yeah, I definitely get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, Natalia doesn't really have it doesn't really even have like a super strong in-ring performance. I've never been, truly wowed by her in the ring.
Which I'm hoping we do see in Toronto.
Yeah, I'd imagine so, but it's within her family history to be shit. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a The Montreal screw job.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, I was thinking Natty will end up having her own Montreal screw job. Toronto.
Toronto screw job, yeah.
So the next segment comes off the back of last week. So last week, Seth Rollins was having a match against Dolph Ziggler as retribution for what he'd done to Shawn Michaels the week prior. Obviously, we did see on Miz TV Shawn Michaels was attacked by Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, so context, during the kerfuffle, there was a little bit of thing where Dolph Ziggler standing there getting up on everyone and shit, and Miz is like, just fucking do something, bring it on, let's give this a red hot go. He puts his hands behind his back to Dolph, like, come on, man, punch me in the face, fucking punch me.
Yeah.
He walks away. Shawn goes to grab Zig. I think it's sort of like a
get back here and do something.
Not even a get back here, more of like a hey man, like it's all right. He turns around, goes to the swing on Shawn. He ducks, clocks Miz. I think Shawn socks Zig.
Yeah.
Turns around, make sure that Miz is okay. Gets up, sweet chin music.
Super kicked. Yeah, his own move against him.
Killer says in the chat, Natty is more of a ring general. She can put a decent match out. She can put a decent match out of anyone. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if she can pull good work out of someone, that's probably worth.
Yeah, definitely. So during this match against Dolph Ziggler that Seth Rollins is having, we do end up with Brock Lesnar coming out, and like laying the beat down on Seth Rollins, like viciously F5s, throwing him into like
this last week.
Yeah, last week just beat the shit out of him.
Brock Lesnar just. It was during a match with Dolph Ziggler, where Brock comes out as a distraction. Ziggler grabs his leg, allows him to get a Brock did a running clothesline on Seth, which then ended in multiple obviously disqualification win to Seth, but then multiple suplexes on Seth Rollins, including a couple of F5s. There was a ringside F5 into the ring post, just beat down. It wasn't going well. Seth's just coughing up blood.
Yeah,
like he's not
F5s
doing
onto
well.
the chair like 3 times.
Yeah, that was awesome, by the way.
Vicious. Yeah, Seth looks like, I had to rewind it. Like, is he coughing up blood? He's coughing up blood. They get him into a stretcher and they take him out to the ambulance, and Becky's watching, and then there's like Roman Reigns, and there's like a backstage brawl randomly.
Yeah, and as the ambulance tries to leave, it just gets stopped suddenly. Brock's at the front of it. He's like, don't you dare move.
Yes, turn it off, stop it.
Yanks Seth out of the back, pulls him forward,
throws him into shit.
Yeah, throws him into a bunch of shit. Then Seth detaches himself, comes off the stretcher. Brock picks him up, just throws him back onto the stretcher, but like the metal part side of it, and
I was cringing. I was very much cringing. But that I love, because that is so Paul Heyman's work. And you know, it was full on too, because
the direction there is
and it's full on too, because Paul Heyman at one point was begging Brock to stop the assault. He's like, Brock, please stop. You need to, this is too much. And as he's walking away, like, Brock ends up cracking the shits and come back, and like, Paul was like, don't. And Michael Cole even mentions, he's like, I have never in 15 years seen Paul Heyman beg Brock Lesnar to stop like that. Yeah. But yeah, so this brings us to this week. Paul Heyman comes out with Brock Lesnar to a chorus of boos. The place just boos the house down. Paul explains that he's been ordered by Brock to educate the universe, and starts asking not rhetorical questions, Seth Rollins is supposed to be the beast slayer, isn't he? Seth Rollins is supposed to be the destroyer of beasts, and he's supposed to burn it down, and this, that, and the other. And he's like, the answer to these questions lies in this video, and shows the assault of last week. He's like, I dropped one knee and I begged Brock to show you mercy because I believe that we need a new hero. And then, he's like basically pumping Seth Rollins up. It was really weird. And then he's like, that beating that he gave you was almost criminal. But I have some news. I found out moments ago that Seth Rollins is here in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, yes. And then he's like, Seth Rollins is a bit of an idiot. He's got more balls than brains. And then Seth's music hits, and he comes staggering out,
limping out of the chair, looking like shit.
Yeah, he looked like he was about to die, using the chair as a crutch, making his way to the ring. Brock's like, you're an idiot. Don't do this. Just turn around and go away. Brock Lesnar's just like coaxing him into the ring, like, come on. And Seth, being Seth, climbs into the ring and just takes another vicious.
It was a bold strategy.
Yep. Bold strategy, Cut. I wonder how that's
bold
gonna work
strategy,
out.
Cut. And hope it works out well for him. Well for him. But it didn't. It did not go well at all.
Ouchtown, bro. Population you.
Yeah.
But the entire time, like, Seth was like crawling on the ground, like grabbing at Brock's feet, like still trying to get at him. I was like, holy shit, Seth, just go away. And Paul's just yelling from the ringside, like, I can't stop him this time. Like, you're an idiot. Why did you come out here today? And just, heaps of F5s. And then, during the break, a stretcher does come out. They do show the video footage from the break. Brock Lesnar decides, as the stretcher's coming out, he's not finished, goes back for another F5 and then walks off. Seth ends up like refusing assistance from the officials. He grabs the microphone. He's like, there comes a time when you have to ask yourself whether this is all worth it. Protecting something I love means me getting destroyed weekly. Is like, to me, it does. This is everything for me. This is all I have.
The problem here was, like, obviously because of his injury and his caved in chest, he was having a lot of difficulty getting this across. It was very mumbly. It was very tough to hear. Like, we barely heard him watching it at home. Like, I doubt the crowd would have heard it because there was a lot of like whats. But I think rather than the usual interruption of what, it was like, no, really, what are you saying? I got no idea what you're saying.
I can't hear you. Speak louder. But it was very much that painstaking, slow, heavy breathing. But he does say he will be at SummerSlam, and he guarantees that he's going to beat Brock Lesnar.
We'll get to predictions later.
Yep, and then the burn it chants start. Everybody's like, burn it down. And Seth is refusing. He's like, I'm not getting on that stretcher, okay? And he sees himself out. This brings us backstage. Earlier in the night, we do find out that Kurt Angle is going to be a special guest referee for a match of Cedric Alexander.
I popped my titties off.
You did. Cedric Alexander
I
versus
popped my good titty off.
Drew McIntyre. So we're backstage. Charlie is interviewing our hometown hero because Pittsburgh is Kurt's hometown. And as she's doing that, she's interrupted by the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montel Ford. And they're like chanting.
Montez. Is it Montez?
No, I'm pretty sure it's Montel. I swear I wrote down Montel, so I'm pretty sure. Could be Montez.
I think you're correct.
And they're chanting USA, and they come up and they're chatting to Kurt, and they're like, we're thirsty. How about you help us out with this? And they've got a little esky there. They pull out some red booze cups and some milk. And Kurt's like, look, no, guys, I promised my wife I wouldn't do anything stupid. And they're like, are we talking to Kurt Angle or Mike Canales? And I was like, ooh. And then they start like beatboxing his intro
random
music.
sick burn on Mike Canales. Yeah, it was a bit weird.
And then they start beatboxing his entrance music while they're pouring him milk, and he's like, all right. And then Drew McIntyre interrupts. He just shows up. He shows up and he's like,
I'm gonna stand over there for a second. I'm gonna stretch this.
Go for it. Right. Yeah, he Drew McIntyre goes to step up, and Dawkins stops him because they're like, you're our hero, Kurt. So they're trying to take care of him. He's like, look, I'm not here to cause any trouble. I just want to, make sure that Kurt's gonna call this down the middle because I did humiliate him a little while ago. I made him tap out to his own submission. Yeah. So he's like, I just want to make sure he's gonna call it down the middle, or you mess with the turd, you get the motherfucking hurt. Basically,
you say that. That would have been awesome.
he said that. You mess with the McIntyre, you get the motherfucking car tire. I don't know. Just run him over. And yeah, this brings us to our next match of the evening, which we need to have a serious talk about. And it is the Viking Raiders versus fucking Jobbers. Again, I am sick to fucking death of this. I am pissed. I am irate. As soon as I saw it, I started to skip through the match, and then I heard so they knocked one of the guys off the apron, had this big fluffy afro, and Corey Graves was like, there goes the guy from Coheed and Cambria, and I was like, and then just skipped the match. That was my favorite part of the match. Now, this speaks a world. We know that the Viking Raiders are vicious. We know that they can take on anyone, anytime, anywhere, and just destroy them. Why Jobbers? Literally people that have no chance of upper hand. You have so many tag teams in your roster that could be utilized for these guys to have a proper match against. Guys that need the airtime that aren't getting it. Guys that have trained for their life for this and they're getting random outsiders to come in. Guys that aren't even part of this industry. They're not even paid on that roster to come in and just get their ass beat. I would rather see the B team get their ass beat because they are part of the roster than I would Captain Jobber and Coheed and Cambria. Like, it's infuriating. Like, these guys are a force to be reckoned with, and you know what? I don't want to see them anymore. You're making me hate them by putting them up against these people. Put them up against the B team. I don't care if you put together like some random, like, chuck EC3 and Drake Maverick together for all I care. Like, just give them proper superstars on your roster. You're pissing me off. Fucking fix it. Because I almost tuned out of the entire show then. I was just like, I'm sick of this. I'm done.
I like how when you're around, there's enthusiasm, but it still stays here. Where I just kick that shit up here. But
I'm trying to stay zen about it. Yeah. I could scream, but I'm just.
The only problem that the problem that I have with it specifically, and I'm going to channel all my fucking pain into this, is it's stupid. It is frustrating because, as you mentioned, like, there is part of it like when they're like, we're just gonna crush whoever, but that, like, the ability to watch someone crush no name fucks was enticing 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Since the Viking Raiders have come up, we have seen them literally take on, I don't know, 1, potentially 2. And I'm saying 2 because I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt here. All I can remember is the Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. I can't think of anyone else.
I think we saw them against Heavy Machinery once.
Sure, we'll go with that. You know, Heavy Machinery, right? Like, they got in there, like, they've had 1 solid go. If they want them to be that vicious person they are, and we've discussed this many, many times, take out the actual roster. Now, all I'm hoping here is this: there's this minor
Lucha House Party,
this minor silver lining here. And that silver lining is the post SummerSlam, they're gonna get something. They're gonna be put into a place, only because the tag division is so fucking balls up until this point. And, like, I do genuinely think there is going to be a mild hard reset, like a pretty good hard reset post SummerSlam. And the only reason they're doing this is to help remind us that the Viking Raiders are there and we should pay attention to them. That's my only thing.
But I don't want to anymore.
If post SummerSlam they start versing nobodies, still, why the fuck are they here? Why were they pulled away from being NXT Tag Team Champions? They were having a red hot time down there in that brand, and they pulled them up for clearly no fucking reason. They pulled them up, they butchered their brand, they butchered their name, and their whole shtick. Right? Change their name, change the name of the team. It's the dumbest shit in the in the toy world. They have brought them up to just murder them.
And when they cut promos, their promos are amazing and they're vicious and they're like, join the raid, and you're like, I want to join the raid. And then you see them versing Jobby McJobberson and you're like, I don't want to join the raid anymore. This looks boring. Like, it's like watching Game of Thrones with no violence. Like, it's not as exciting.
It's Game of Thrones, but you're not seeing Daenerys use her dragon on the White Walk. Actually that happened. She's one random people.
Yeah, but it's
bad example.
No, it is like seeing Game of Thrones without the violence, because it's like, sure, they're destroying people, but it doesn't matter because it's going against nobody. Like, I don't care for it. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to see it. Like, it's fucking infuriating because these guys can be huge. You've got the likes of, like, the Lucha House Party got destroyed by Lars Sullivan. Why can't they come back and be destroyed by the Viking Raiders? Like, you've got so much potential there for this. Slap some people together, make them verse them, like, give them competent superstars.
What about that little European Union that we're creating with, like, it's like the foreign brigade? It was like Shinsuke, Rusev, and someone else. Yeah, there's also there's a team of, like, I think it's like EC3 and a couple other people that when they do house shows they sort of get lumped together as a triple threat. Like,
there's so much.
Oh my fucking titties.
Pissing me off. Absolutely. I'm done. I'm fucking done with the Viking Raiders. I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah, if nothing comes out of this, it has been an absolute waste of our time.
I'm at the point where they've wasted my time and I'm done. I don't think there's retribution here for me. I don't think they can come back from it. Not unless, like, they just show up out of nowhere and take the titles. Like, unless they're given a title the week after SummerSlam, I don't care.
Yeah.
After this, we do get a tribute video of Hall of Famer inductee Harley Race, who's passed away. They show a little tribute video.
I'm
and
sure he did things. I'm sure it's sad, but I don't know.
yeah, crowd chants his name. Shortly after this, we get our favorite. You suck. You suck. Kurt Angle doing the referees. The crowd explodes. Obviously, it is his hometown.
Yeah,
they are so psyched to see him. Crowd just blew up. So Cedric Alexander's coming out for his entrance, of course, as always.
Can I just point it out that Cedric Alexander's intro sucks dick?
Yeah, it's a bit shit.
Like, his Titantron footage is just green with his name in word art. Like, it looks so bad. And Cedric's obviously doing a lot recently, you know, getting involved with that big old boost last week where he
jumped off the top of the LEDs.
Set.
That was
Yeah.
amazing. Oh, he's so good at wrestling. Give him a better intro.
And they're giving him little moments to shine here. So, like, why don't you demonstrate the shine when he enters?
Yep, exactly it. But yeah, as always, Drew McIntyre beats the shit out of him as he's coming halfway down the ramp. There's a big old buzz down. Cedric Alexander does end up jumping off like the one of the barriers onto Drew McIntyre. They're both rolling around on the floor, and then the venue starts to shut down. And I'm like, oh, no. And then next minute, you see Kurt Angle, big old fist in his mouth, and the Fiend just laughing and screaming manically. Ripping his jaw off, full-blown mandible claw, which I had no idea what had happened. All I'd seen on Twitter was Bray Wyatt had tweeted saying he was sorry to Kurt Angle, and I was like, what's happened? And then when I saw it, I was like, cool.
Yeah, Kurt Angle.
See, this is the perfect thing. Like,
Putting
this is...
people over.
Yeah. This is booking the Fiend perfectly. Like, mandible claw on the people. Like, obviously he did the Sister Abigail on Finn, the mandible claw on Mick Foley and Kurt Angle, taking out these legends. It's really solidifying how vicious and how afraid of the Fiend we should be.
Like,
I can't wait to see what his
it proves that. It shows that the Fiend has no interest in, like, killing anyone, but just fucking hurting people.
Yeah.
Like, with both Mick Foley and Kurt Angle being as jacked up as they are, if he Abigails them, they're fucking dead. So instead, he's just playing the game and just rip, you know. Like, how can I bring you down to your knees? How can I get your back on the mat? And you...
Yeah. And yep, and in saying this as well, last week we did have a Firefly Funhouse with Rambling Rabbit, who sounded like he was going to out the Funhouse and what it's about. And Bray Wyatt comes storming in looking for him, and he did a runner, and he's just like, he's looking for him, and Bray just looks at the camera, very, very like devilish, and starts laughing and says, "Let me in." So there's something sinister going on in the Funhouse, which I'm interested to see where that goes as well. Like, I am so hyped about Bray Wyatt. I'm so hyped about the Funhouse. I'm so hyped about the Fiend. I can't wait to see where this takes us. I'm pretty sure in that episode as well, he does mention Finn Balor, and he mentions that I think it was that one. Finn Balor made a mistake. Yeah. So Rambling Rabbit says, you know, Finn Balor, you know, we love him because he's brave and he's courageous and
extraordinary things.
Yeah, you know, extraordinary things. But he made a mistake in awakening the Fiend. And, you know, things are going on in the Funhouse and it's all very, very sinister. And I'm very excited about it. Yeah. Very excited about it. So last week, which we did miss out, which was a huge thing, there was a triple threat match, the Usos versus the Revival versus the OC, Gallows and Anderson.
We probably shouldn't. Did we mention that they've rebranded themselves, the OC?
Yeah, that was the week prior.
Oh, was it?
Yep. So they've been the OC for about 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Because
the official club, the the original club, the only club that matters. Or you know what it was? You know what their rebranding was? They're like, well, we can't use the term, you know, Bullet Club. So, like, you know, for like difficulty problem, there's where it's kind of like the other club. Like,
the other club.
Other club, eh?
Yeah.
OC. Yeah, cool. There it is. Done. OC. Like, we can't call ourselves the other club. That makes dumb.
Yep. But last week, Gallows and Anderson did walk out the Raw Tag Team Champions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Gallows and Anderson, and I wrote in my notes, I was like, great, this is going to lead to AJ, like the OC versus the New Day, which is basically what happened this week. It was the OC versus the New Day without Kofi, and AJ was ringside. Kofi was away at this stage, which is mentioned a few times. So we get the New Day intro. They come out. It is the New Day versus the OC. And Gallows has face paint on, and Graves does mention.
Yes, it's reminiscent of his time in Japan, and it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looked amazing. He said it channels a better him, and he was better in Japan, and he's just trying to channel that, which they did phenomenal tonight. I'll give them credit. That was a phenomenal match, except for AJ getting involved pretty much immediately and disqualifying the OC, and then them just using that for a beatdown. Everybody starts chanting Kofi, and you hear AJ yelling like, Kofi's not here tonight, he's not coming. And then we hear pudding, and Ricochet comes out. And he obviously plays the Kofi role and comes and helps the New Day. And then we cut to a break, and during the break, this is made an official 6-man tag match. The OC versus the New Day with Ricochet. Unfortunately, the New Day do end up losing. Gallows gets the pin on, I'm pretty sure it was Xavier Woods, off a Magic Killer for the win.
Yeah.
Which is a vicious move, that Magic Killer.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that was that. So next we cut back to Joe talking to an official backstage. He's being told that Roman Reigns is on his way. And he's like, perfect. Tell everybody, he says to this like official guy with the headphones and stuff, like, tell everybody that Raw is now shut down, and goes storming to the ring, grabs a microphone. He's like, come on, Roman, I know you're close. Like, let's go, get down here. Nothing happens. Waits a little bit longer. He's like, come on, like, I've got all night. We'll be here all night if we have to. I told you I'm not going anywhere until you get down here and apologize to me. Jumps out of the ring, gets a chair, sits down, just sits there very impatiently for a minute. While he's doing this, the CM Punk chants start. I was like, here we go. Like, nobody's liking this. And then an official walks up to the ringside, and Joe walks over. And he's like, I've just got a word that he's arrived in the car park. And Joe says, I'm impatient. Not impatient, he's unpatient. And he's like, I'm gonna go greet him. So he storms out of the ring and backstage, and they're trying to get a camera back there, and eventually they get his back end walking out the back to greet Roman at his SUV. And as Roman gets out of the car and him and Joe are having a yelling match, all of a sudden this car comes screeching and a horn beeps, and Roman jumps in his car, and this car just collides in the back end of the SUV. And Joe's like, oh shit, and you see him just sort of walking around like not sure what to do. And it cuts to a break, and when it comes back, they do show footage of Joe, like, eventually, like, the car pulls out and drives off, and Joe goes running over and kindly, obviously, checks on Roman Reigns, like, dude, are you okay? Like, don't get up, stay down, wait for the medics. The medics show up, Triple H shows up, and Joe's like, dude, don't do anything, don't move, just stay there. Yeah, that we believe it at that. So first the forklift incident, now he's getting hit by cars. I immediately went back to our Attitude Era days, and I was like, it's Rikishi. He did it for The Rock. He did it for the people.
Well, he did rock up at the Raw reunion, so it's not...
He's around. He is around. I know they're all Samoan families, but damn, son. One thing I did laugh at is Joe was like, when he's talking about Roman Reigns, like, I've heard of Island Time, man, but damn, like, this is just late. Talking about Samoans, that was a bit of fun. So next we have a fatal 4-way. So it is announced earlier in the night. There is a fatal 4-way elimination tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Now it is the Kabuki Warriors, Kairi Sane and Asuka, versus, with Paige, obviously, versus Sex and Violence, aka Fire and Desire, aka Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, versus Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, rocking the Popsy Purple this week. Thank you. We love you. We love you. Yeah, versus the Iconics, obviously.
Oh, Iconic!
It was funny because, like I mentioned earlier.
Oh, man. For those who don't... Okay, the problem that I'm having right now is that the shingles make my nervous system hurt, and the shirt makes it hurt more, so I'm kind of standing here with my tit out on the side, and oh my god, it's a reliever of pain. Oh, you got no idea.
So Ryan's off to the side while I sort this out.
Yeah.
But as I was...
Actually, put that mic down on the ground. I'll just lay under the table.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
You can at least still hear me.
All right. Have you got that one? All right.
Hey, everyone. Can you still hear
There
me?
we go. Yep.
At least you can still hear me. Might not be able to hear me.
Awesome.
Oh.
So yeah, as I was watching this match, I couldn't help but laugh because my bedroom is quite close to the kitchen, and my housemate came out and she's like, "What's all that noise? Is that Australian tag team?" And I was like, "Yep, you can hear the galahs yelling." She's like, "Wow, they really are loud." I was like, "I know." So yeah, as the match goes on, so I'm pretty sure it's like the tag teams are just tagging each other in. They're just like not about it. Nobody wants to face anybody, but they're still facing each other. It was quite a fun little intro. But first elimination is the Iconics.
It was very surprising actually. Like ideally, I would have loved the Iconics to stay in, but the second that they got the loss, I was like,
We know there's guaranteed.
there's new champions here.
Yep,
And
guaranteed.
as much as I love the Iconics, it was very much a situation of I cannot wait to see who these are because like ideally I didn't want it to be like Fire and Desire, but I think they would make a good set of champions.
Yeah, for sure.
It was weird.
Which was interesting because Billie Kay was eliminated by Mandy Rose.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I was a little bummed they went out so quick, but at the same time, like you said, I was like, oh, these titles are definitely changing hands.
But it's the other situation of these guys have been really, really shitty champs. Like they've dodged a match. They literally have dodged a fight at any possible turn and or corner.
But that's what's been so fun about them.
It's because they know they could not they could not hold that belt. They would have to take the L. And just because they weren't able to compete. Like, they won the belt on a fluke. Mm-hmm. So this is the situation that they're facing. It's going to have to, anyone that actually gave them a red hot go, they were going to lose. And it made sense.
Yeah. So next team to be eliminated is Sex and Violence. They get eliminated by where are we?
Was it Kyrie?
I'm pretty sure it was Kyrie. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Kyrie. Yeah, Mandy got tapped out by Asuka. Asuka got the Asuka
that's
lock.
right, the Asuka lock, of course.
Yeah,
Man,
and Mandy tapped.
I'm just going to put it out there. It was really awesome to see Asuka and Kyrie again.
Yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more.
I kind of forgot that they were around in a good way.
What I did love...
Also, down here, by the way, hey.
What I did love was Kairi Sane being an absolute dick to Alexa Bliss, like measuring height and making small jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah, because Kyrie's a little tiny one as well, which was very cool.
So it was a bit of fun, like pretending to shake her hand and like pulling her hand away and stuff. That was super cute. I did enjoy that. But yeah, it does end up being obviously the Kabuki Warriors versus Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss, which Alexa got the Twisted Bliss on Kairi Sane and pinned her for the win.
Yeah, so and your new women's tag team champions are
Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross.
Fun fact. I feel like Dickie Nee over here. Fun fact. On Twitter, Nikki did do a post being like, so what should we call our new team? And I forget who it was. Someone responded with like, if you're a tag team champions, you should have your own fucking team name.
Right.
Like, that's a good point.
Yeah, good point. What would you call them? Do you have any names for them? I'd call them Blissfully Cross.
Oh, that was pretty good. I got nothing. I actually have nothing.
Cute and crazy?
Yeah, it works. So hang on, let's see. So she's the goddess. And Nikki Cross doesn't really have a thing. She's just bonkers.
Yeah.
Come back.
Speaking of, last week there was a match of Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss feigned an ankle injury. She sat out.
Yeah,
Nikki
that
Cross,
was rad.
Yeah, Nikki Cross came up and was like, "I'll take you on now. You want to challenge my Celtic pride? Well, I'll take you on right now because I'm a proud Celtic." And then Becky's like getting the doors on Nikki Cross, and then out of nowhere, Alexa Bliss comes back with not injured, which you could tell because she was ringside.
The Celtic Cross.
The Celtic Cross. But that's all just Nikki. Celtic Bliss.
Oh, wait. Damn it. I thought her name was Alexa Cross.
No. You could call it a Celtic Bliss, though.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
I don't know. Tell us what you think.
I've got it.
Yes.
The Celtic Bliss experience.
The Nikki Cross Alexa Bliss experience. The women's tag team experience. Oh God.
Oh, I've got to put it out there, man. Like, you know, for those playing at home, if you want the, you know, visual image here, like I'm sitting here with my titty out, having the greatest time. I feel so much better down here.
I'm glad. So glad.
I can actually get involved in a conversation because there's an overload of like just nerves pain because like any nerve sensation right now sucks.
Oh no.
Yeah, just click the any of those buttons. Yep. Click that button and then just close the thing. There you go.
Awesome. So this brings us to our last segment for the evening, which is the Miz TV. So we're having a contract signing for SummerSlam. So Dolph Ziggler will be signing a contract to face the Miz. And Shawn Michaels.
Oh, there we go. So Killer jumps in the chat before we jump into the Ziggler stuff. He goes, the Twisted Bliss is better because Nikki Cross is the Twisted Sister. Well, that's that kind of works. Well, because that is
call it Twisted Bliss.
her Alexa Bliss's finishing move too. So
yeah,
I'm gonna go with that. Nice
that
work,
works,
Killer. Well done.
Thanks for that info.
Dickie Knee approves.
Yeah. Yeah, so Miz claims that Shawn Michaels is going to be ringside because it'll guarantee Dolph will show up. HBK's music hits, crowd goes wild. He still does his little sexy boy intro, which I love. He's dancing around and doing his whole thing.
I love his bowed legs.
Yeah, and he looks like my dad, just jeans and a t-shirt and a hat. Like it's like my dad's dancing around. This is great.
It really demonstrates how gnarly super kicks are to your legs, man.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
Because all that leverage and that bend has really bowed his legs out.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that, the video that you sent me the other day about him kicking like Sean Spears in the face.
Oh yeah, I just kicked Stan.
I watched that video like 18 times in a row, and I
kick
showed
is so
everyone
perfect.
at work. It's so good. Like super kicks like 4
Yep,
people
and the guy
in
walks
hallway.
out with a paper and it just goes everywhere when he kicks him. You think I'm not controversial? I'm controversial. I just kicked Stan.
It may not be controversial, but it sure is funny.
Yeah, that was great. It was so good. Those were the glory days. That's when my DX was slowly going out. So yeah. I love that they're all dressed up in suits. That was super nice. You know, Miz is all suited up except for Shawn.
Can I just put it out there? I don't know what suit he was wearing, but it was like this weird design. It may have been like a Dolce & Gabbana because it looked like a...
Gabbana?
Gabbana. I don't fucking know.
Dolce and Deli Meats.
Yeah.
Deli Meat and Gabbana.
Look, that's how you get my attention. It's Deli Meat, all right? Yeah, so it did look a little bit D&G, but it also looked like a 69. So I was like, rock on, Miz. But yeah, but then it could be Goldberg to the Goldbergs, like a bit of a G and
GD.
G's.
Yep. GBs.
Because
Give me the
spoilers.
heebie-jeebies.
Ziggler signs the the contract.
He does.
Miz is like,
I'm gonna face you on Monday,
After.
and Dolph's like, what? Monday after SummerSlam, Dolph's like, what? And he's like, oh, you didn't read the fine print. He's like, I'm going to have many more SummerSlam moments, but the person you're going to be facing may not. And HBK sort of steps up and everybody starts chanting HBK. And HBK is like, it's not me. And then the crowd's like, Goldberg, Goldberg. And then his music hits and Shawn pulls the best face. He just sort of pulls his shit. 2 seconds, sorry. Dash, Betson's on the floor.
So for context, Dash, it hurts less when I don't have my shirt on and I don't want to get some nip action, so I'm Dickie Kneeing this bad boy because just the shirt off it's an overload sensation on the nerves, on the booby nerves. So I'm having a good time down here. Fun fact: the Goldberg thing, the idea of it, no one knew. No one knew. It wasn't on any of the sheets, nothing. It was a big old surprise.
That. And everybody's
Dave
for
Meltzer,
it.
Not our good friend Dash, but Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer Radio was and Brian Alvarez, maybe they're first in Goldberg. He's referring to Goldberg a lot. And after they were finished the episode, they got a call from someone at WWE being like, who the fuck told you? No one.
We just predicted it.
We guessed, but thank you, because now we're telling everyone.
Fucking idiots. You idiots. But yeah, HBK's face is priceless. Him and Miz hightail it. Goldberg comes hammering down to the ring. Dolph throws everything out and then does a runner anyway.
Yeah.
And then Goldberg lifts up the table and the thing and signs the contract and he's like, "You're next."
You're next.
Yep. Yeah, he goes, "Guess what, son? You're next." And then as Dolph was walking up the ramp, bam, beautiful sweet tune music from HBK to end the show.
That was a big old kick in the face.
That was a
awesome.
massive dose to the face. And that brought us to the end of Raw. Beautiful.
So out of the, Kurt or a bar, how do you rate it, Jem?
This week, I would reckon I would give it... you know what? I was pretty happy overall. I don't think... Apart from the Viking Raiders, I think overall I would give it 2 Kurts.
Two Kurts? Wow.
Because Kurt was in it.
Look, I think there are some extra scores when the man himself is on the show. Mm-hmm. I did have quite a good time with this week, so
yeah.
I'm gonna go. Can see if I can get both hands up. I'm gonna go with
Kurnabar?
Yep.
Kurnabar.
Good 1.5 for me. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. But yeah, and there was a couple of little problems that we had with it. I'm really enjoying where they're going here with the whodunit. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not quite as good as the who kicked the fuck out of Aleister Black's face in NXT storyline from late last year.
Yeah.
But the whodunit feels very cool. I don't know what the answer is going to be, but yeah, no, it was pretty good, pretty sort of show overall.
Yeah, I was really happy.
And I'm happy to have a new women's tag team.
Yeah, I'm excited to see because they're always on camera. Which means
Alexa Bliss is always around. Like every week she's on the show, so at least we know the belts will be around, and that's certainly a positive.
Yeah, definitely excited to see where that goes.
Dash is just delivering all those Hey Saturday references.
Love it.
Whoosh.
So
I can do this. I'll just use my beanie.
Tell us what you thought. Yeah. Do you want to use Young and the Restless one?
Myself in the tit.
Careful.
Oh, let us know what you thought of this week's episode of Monday Night Raw in the comment section below. Let all the Facebook group, all the Discord, all those things. Hey, Jem.
Yeah.
You happen to do SmackDown as well?
I can do this.
Cool, because at least I can have a good old chat down here. It's good fun.
Yeah. So most of you guys do know watching live right now. We did have a little watch along, so you know what happened. But let's get
It was very
this.
fun. Thank you for joining us again.
Yeah.
You too can join us as we watch SmackDown. If you head over to patreon.com/thepopculturist, support us at any tier, and you can come join the party.
You can.
Join the raid.
Join the raid. Join the pop culturist experience.
Join the cult.
Yeah. Join the pop cult. We are a cult.
Yeah.
How Satan.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Hal Aleister Black. So this does open with Charlotte Flair. Now, last week we did have an episode of what is it called? The King's something.
The King's Court.
King's Court, being in the hometown of Jerry Lawler, Memphis, Tennessee. He does have Trish Stratus come out and they have a discussion about, we had Raw Reunion last week. You weren't here because you're on holiday. Things. Yeah, well, all the legends reminisced about, wanting one more match. Like, do you as well? And Trish was like, wrestling's in my blood. Of course I do, but I'm a mum now. And Charlotte Flair comes out and she's like, blah, 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 yada, 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 whatever. Like, we don't need you because I'm the future of this. I'm the greatest of any era. Challenges Trish to a match. Initially Trish is like no, but then she ends up coming around because she gets insulted by Charlotte, and basically she's like, to be the woman you've got to beat the woman. There wouldn't be a trail for you to blaze if I hadn't made it in the first place.
Well, this is the thing. So I'm only aware of the legacy of Trish Stratus, so I have to take their word from it here. Do you believe that she is the best women wrestler that's ever been?
I don't think she's the best women's wrestler there's ever been because there have been some phenomenal female superstars. I think she's the most iconic because she, as an actual wrestling superstar, got the most time. Her and Lita, Jazz, Ivory.
Her and Lita.
Who she does mention, Jazz and Ivory, and that. Lita and Trish had the best women's feud ever.
Because weren't they some of the first women to really push
properly wrestle? Yeah,
we're just not the boobies.
Yep.
Although both of them, did present the
That's
good boobies.
yeah.
But like it was more of the
We
are
have the
first
in-ring
to give it a
ability
red hot
too.
go, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And, that paved way for, like, there was an amazing feud between Mickie James and Trish. And, Mickie James still wouldn't be in the industry without that, obviously. So, Trish did have a lot to do.
Can you pass me my phone? Dash is sending me pictures through Discord.
Oh, yeah. So, I hope I didn't just stop anything then. I think I might have.
No, you're still good.
No, we're still recording?
Oh, maybe
No.
not. Hang on.
How do I,
Hang on. Give us.
Oh, no.
Oh, just close that.
I stopped something.
No, we're still going.
Oh, no, we're still going? Okay.
Yeah, we're still
cool.
going.
Beautiful. Sorry, intermission. Anyway, back to the thing. So Charlotte Flair comes out. She's like, it's so funny because she's like, you are witnessing, and I at the same time was like, greatness. And Betson's like, how did you know that? And I'm like, it's Charlotte. She's predictable. But I love her. I love when she speaks. She's amazing. I love Trish on the. I love Charlotte on the mic. Obviously she starts talking smack about Trish wanting to come back. She's like, oh, you just want to have this big glorious comeback match in your hometown of Toronto. She's like, I'm going to beat the living shit out of you. You're not going to get that, and I'm going to show you why. She proceeds to go show a highlight reel, I guess, of her career. And as she does that, it gets hijacked, and we see a highlight reel of Trish Stratus's career. Absolutely beautiful. Trish does come out, and she's like, I hijacked your video because I need to show you why you are here, why you have the opportunities you have today. She's like, without me, you wouldn't have this. Obviously, Charlotte talks some smack. Trish gives her a big old slap in the face. And Labia Majora, a.k.a. Charlotte Flair, dressed in pink, looked like a vagina, just walks out like the pussy she is.
She did. She looked like a giant Labia. Like, she's got to be aware, right? Like, I understand they're talking about this big women's match here. But he's like, hey, where the fuck is Ryan? I didn't realize you did this live. Oh, well, we do it live for Patreon supporters, buddy. But the thing is, you guys, you're seeing this because of the keyword system that I use within YouTube to collate the playlists. So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
So it's normally not free. Just a good spot by you, buddy. And for context, buddy, because of my gnarly shingle pain, it hurts to wear a t-shirt. So I'm lying down here with my titties out. You can imagine that all you want. and at least allows me to have a conversation without wincing in pain.
It's as sexy as you think.
It's literally as not like you're not gonna go full erect, but just a little bit.
I've got a bit of a chode.
Just a little one.
I'm picturing.
And it allows me to have a full conversation without wincing in pain. So that's a big thing.
Yeah. So I have to disagree though. I think Trish would be phenomenal to take the match out.
Was that in the set?
Buddy's just said, I hope Charlotte destroys Trish.
Yeah, dude. It's the nerve pain. You're spot on there, buddy. Because Buddy says here, he goes, I've had shingles once. One of the worst pains I've ever had. Felt like I had broken ribs. That's exactly what it feels like. It feels like I'm being stabbed constantly by a knife that's on fire. Yeah. And it's forever hurting. And then sometimes it just hurts more.
Yeah. Right. So after this, Goldberg's music hits and we're like, oh shit, Goldberg. And it cuts backstage and it says Dolph Ziggler on the door. Some guy bashes on the door and he does a rip-off match mimicking entrance mimicking Goldberg. So this brings us, as he gets out to the ring, he has a match with Rey Mysterio. And as Rey Mysterio is coming out, Dolph does attack beforehand, super kicks the poor guy twice, completely annihilating. And Ali comes to his rescue to help him out. Now, last week we did speak about Ali was involved last week somehow. I can't remember. But Ali was in the show last week. Ali's sort of making his comeback. This makes it look like, Ali is making his comeback. I was really excited about it. Because Ali faced Shinsuke Nakamura and beat him. Yeah, so that puts Ali in the title picture for the Intercontinental Championship easily. So Ali comes out to help Rey, and it cuts to an ad break, and because we could see what was going on during the ad break, we do see that Ali says something which we don't get to hear about, but essentially I think he challenges Dolph, because when we come back, there is an official match with Dolph versus Ali.
I've just got to add to the chat because I kind of only be able to catch up. So, Buddy jumps in and goes, he's a Charlotte Marks, who's a big fan.
Me too. Me too.
I agree. I think Charlotte's great. I hope this is a short-lived little feud so we can get her to do something cool after SummerSlam. And then Dash goes, so does her Sarah Jessica Parker horseface. Because Charlotte sucks. Oh, so Charlotte sucks and so does her horseface.
Yeah. I think she looks great. She's been looking
She looks
really
better
good
now.
lately.
She's rocking less makeup.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm a big fan.
More natural look. Yeah, anyway, so match between Ali and Dolph. Dolph gets a super kick for the win. So basically Ali's win last week means nothing.
Footy.
Yeah. So we cut to a
Did someone just knock on the door?
yes.
Is my child?
I think so. So yeah, next we cut to backstage with Kayla. We have an exclusive interview.
Her little hands coming from under the door. My child's breaking in.
Exclusive interview with Roman Reigns from earlier today, even though they're trying to claim it's tonight. Basically, they ask him, like, you know, you've been through a lot of shit this week. How are you keeping it together? And he's like, oh, I've been through a lot this year. I can keep it together. And then she's like, who do you think's responsible? He's like, I don't know, but I have questions. And I'm going to ask them. And that's that.
So can I just mention, Killer jumps in the chat here and goes, she needs to be off my TV for a bit before I can appreciate Charlotte again.
She's been away.
She's
I'm
been
glad
away
she's
since
back.
Money in the Bank.
Yeah, I'm glad she's back.
Like she
I think
wasn't
she's
in
been away
Extreme
long
Rules.
enough.
Like she's had some time away.
Yeah. I'm totally just going to steal your chair and put my feet up this episode.
No worries, man.
Yeah.
Get comfy. It's good.
Yeah,
We're having a comfy show.
This
It's
is-
a good time.
This is a good time. It is. So yeah, next we get Natalya walking to the ring. We have a match up next versus Ember Moon. Match starts, big old dus fest, pretty good match. Natalya does end up getting Ember Moon outside of the ring, locks in a vicious sharpshooter for a 10 count, gets counted out. Obviously the match gets finished. Won't let go of the sharpshooter until Bayley's music hits and Bayley comes barreling down and Natalya hightails it, and Bayley obviously checks on Ember Moon, which is nice of Bayley.
Well, it's one of those things. Like, the Bayley chose Ember as her competitor out of respect.
Yeah.
So it's one of those situations of like, yeah, well, I want you to be good because I want to kick. I want a good fight come Sunday.
Yeah. So last week we did have there was a tag team match of Bayley and Ember Moon versus I can't remember. But
What was it, sorry?
Bayley and Ember Moon last week were in a tag match against somebody. I think it might have been Sex and Violins.
I think it was Sex and Violence.
Before the match, obviously the week prior to that, Ember Moon had hit Bayley with the Eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
Bayley's like, if you pull that shit again, I'm going to make you regret it. And then after the match, Bayley
Was that last week where, she just eclipsed everyone for a little while?
Yeah, not last week, the week prior.
Yep, cool.
And then last week, Bayley was like, do it again and you're going to regret it. And Bayley does end up like, I think Ember Moon ends up losing the match. Bayley's checking on her, and as she gets her up off the ground, she gives her a big old Bayley to belly as like a big old, that's what you get.
Yes, good. Yeah. I remember that now.
So yeah, obviously Ember's very hesitant of Bayley. But this cuts backstage to Kevin Owens walking out. We do get the KO show. As he's starting to announce it, he's like, cut my music. He's like, Shane, get your ass out of here. Let's get this over and done with. Shane is his guest. And he proceeds to tell us that, for the last couple of weeks, he's been berated by the universe. Like, if your career's on the line, why isn't Shane's? So he's basically like, put yours on the line as well. And Shane's like, I'm not dumb. I've got balls, but I'm not dumb. I'm not going to do that. If you want to fight, let's fight now. And as he does so, Elias slides into the ring as they're like throwing the chairs and stuff out of the... They're all like throwing all the signs and all the chairs out, and Shane gets his shirt off, and yeah, Elias comes into the ring and KO gets a big old duz on him, and then Shane gets the upper hand and they double team him a bit. Last week we did see a bit of a duz fest with KO, and he did a beautiful stunner, I think, to Drew McIntyre.
He's been stunning up a storm lately. It's been very nice.
Stunning him on the announce table, which was beautiful, and we see that again tonight. He does it to Elias, but then Shane gets a big old upper hand on him. puts him over the table, then like throws the table over top of him, and then puts a chair on his face and baseball slides into it and yells at him, and absolutely just vicious brutalization.
This is the problem that I have. Like, when it comes to little beatdowns like this, the beatdown itself, on point. Love it. High rate beatdown. But then it's the getting on the knees and yelling in their face. It always weirds me out. It really, it never lands.
Yeah, it's always a bit much. Very, very fun little thing. Obviously, we're all sick of seeing Shane, but what can you do?
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed the stipulation of Shane getting the boot isn't getting involved in this match. That is a bit of a bummer, personally. But who knows what could happen the next couple of days.
Exactly it. So next we do get Sami Zayn comes out to the ring. Last week he did issue, Aleister Black put out the, I've put myself in my own proverbial prison. Cesaro was a great competitor, but, I've still got a fight and somebody else needs to pick a fight with me. Sami Zayn does announce that he's going to pick the fight with Aleister Black and he wants to do that at SummerSlam. And he's like, I put out this challenge last week to Aleister Black, but he's too scared to fight me, or he's ashamed because he knows that all this hype he has around him, he can't live up to. I'm going to destroy him. I'm going to destroy his hype. I'm going to expose him for what he really is, a fraud. He's like, and his rebuttal to me was he just sat in a dark room and said nothing. He's like, so as he's like berating Aleister Black's music hits, and you can see him laying. And he has a microphone in his hand and he says, Sami Zayn, like, I accept your challenge, but the match isn't happening at SummerSlam. It's happening now. And then the thing starts to raise and he does his intro when Sami Zayn's sitting there shitting himself. And we lost our minds because we do love an Aleister Black intro.
We've got little hard-ons for Aleister Black.
I am pinching the biggest tent of my life every time he walks to the ring.
Oh, laughing at us.
Sorry.
That's all right.
But welcome to the boner zone population, my dick. Sorry. I get really wound up. Like,
that was good.
So yeah, Sami Zayn just gets annihilated. It is absolutely beautiful. Vicious black mass from Aleister Black.
He did the cool like lift up with the foot thing. As the sort of semi-dazed. Very, very cool.
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. That was perfect. Next we get Shelton Benjamin.
Oh, Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton Benjamin. And he's standing there backstage as he has been the last couple of weeks, and he's asked if he sees himself competing for the 24/7 championship. He does that look around thing and goes, well, and then just walks away. And this cuts to the New Day walking to the ring with, instead of pancakes, Xavier Woods got bottles of water underneath his championship belt. Big E's just
did we
soaking
mention
himself.
that they are now when did they win the belts?
They won them a couple weeks back.
Was it a pay-per-view?
I think it may have been.
It must have been.
But we do know that they've been champions for a little while.
Yeah.
Because last week they were champions before the OC, and the OC were last week.
That's correct. Thank you.
Big E's just drenching himself in water. And then we got to the Firefly Funhouse, and there's like lollies all over the table, and Huskus the
pig boy.
And Bray's like, we love Finn Balor. We love that he's not afraid of anything.
Oh, sorry, Killer did correct us. They won them at Extreme Rules.
Yes,
Thank you, Killer.
Off Rowan and Daniel Bryan.
That's correct. Yes.
So yeah, they're like, Finn's courageous, but his courage is ignorance. He invited the Fiend to his door. He let us in, basically. And we do see the little pop-up of Rambling Rabbit, who I did mention last week was like trying to expose the Funhouse before he got shut down. Bray starts manically laughing. He's like, we've hurt for so long, and it's Finn's turn to hurt, to know how we feel. And he's like, just let me in. And then, obviously the screen goes weird, and the hurt and the heel, and
let me in.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So Killer does clarify the match was Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Heavy Machinery versus The New Day.
Oh, that's right. Because really mad the machinery didn't win.
Yeah. So yeah, the Funhouse is getting creepier, and like I mentioned earlier, I am really excited to see what they're going to do with Bray Wyatt. I'm really interested to see what his entrance is going to be like.
Yes, that's the thing. Like,
I'm
that's what has me
hanging.
most excited is what his entrance is going to be. To what music is he using? Because I think with the Fiend, because once again they've got that. He's got that Slipknot-esque mask right now.
Yeah.
And NXT. For Takeover this week, they're using Unsainted, and they've got the other song which whose name escapes me by now. The "We Are Not Your Kind" sort of chant is from is the theme for NXT.
Yes.
I'm not saying that it's. I mean, like it pulls that heavier vibe, and I remember there being a rumor mill that one of the latest songs from Killswitch Engage was originally written for a wrestler, and they never said who. But the topic of the song, like the context of it, would really have benefited a character like Bray Wyatt, I feel.
Interesting.
So I'm expecting a heavier song.
That would be rad. So next we cut back to, we were both like, who the hell is this? Chad Gable. Obviously we don't recognize him with his short hair.
He looks so much better
So
without
different.
hair.
Yeah.
He still has hair, but I mean like trimmed down hair.
Yeah.
Looks so much younger.
Yeah. Dash has just confirmed apparently the kill switch was for Randy Orton.
Oh, was it? What recently?
Yep.
Damn,
Randy's
Randy.
not a fan of his own music. Like, he's changed his song twice because he hates it.
But I like voices.
Yeah. I preferred his old one that, hey, there's nothing you can say. There's nothing gonna change what you've done to me.
You see, I'm the opposite.
Yeah, Burning My Life.
There's just something about I hear voices in my hair.
It's
Like
pretty
it's just
good.
something to it. It's cool. It works.
When he had that heel turn and became like Bad Randy, it worked really well for that.
Bad
like,
Randy.
Voices in his head. Daddy.
He hates the old one.
Yeah, he hates the old one. I love the old one. Like the Burning My Light was one of my faves. Anyways, Chad Gable's using some stretching bands and doing some stuff, and he puts it down, and Elias walks up. He's like, "Get your shit off my shit, bro." And he's like, "Look, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize." And he's like, I something. And Elias is like, "Well, I thought I was talking to a child," basically just making fun of him because he does kind of look like a child.
He looks young. He looks
Yeah, he
younger.
looks
Not
very
shy, he looks younger.
baby-faced. Very baby-faced. And then, just says some mean shit because it's Elias, and then storms off with his guitar. Guitar. So last week we did have a little video segment they called Inside the Mind of a Viper, and it's basically Randy Orton sitting down talking about his feud with Kofi Kingston back in 2009, what happened, what led to it, why he's superior to Kofi and things like that. Like, basically he says, I didn't have to do anything. I just had to be me, and I was championship material. Kofi had to pretend to be somebody else for so many years and still couldn't get it done because I didn't allow it. Because he's like, I used my influence because I had it and he didn't. And that sort of thing. So Kofi does retaliate in that video and talks about that. And he's like, I was on top of the world. Everybody wanted me. Everybody loved me. But he used his influence to knock me down a few pegs. And, after 11 years, it's finally my time to get that retribution and show him that I am better than he is and this and that. Which I think is beautiful because this is the epitome of long-term storytelling. Like, it's been almost 10 years. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. This, obviously carries from what I used to watch into coming back into it. It just makes me relive those moments and that nostalgia, and I'm really, really seeing stuff that I love from this. I'm excited for this match. I'm so excited for this match because the match that Randy and Kofi had back in 2009 was just off chops. Absolutely, like, off its tits, and I can't wait to see what they do with this one. Off Ryan's tits.
Sorry, I haven't heard that expression in a while.
So next we do get the New Day doing their intro again. As they're being announced, Big E's is being real weird with the ring announcer. It's super cute. And and they are versing Daniel Bryan and Rowan. Now, again, Daniel Bryan last week was supposed to announce his career-altering whatever, and he just breathed a bit heavy and...
Yeah, his career-altering announcement, like, this would be 3 weeks. 3 weeks, he said something?
Yeah. I completely forgot to mention, I think it was on Raw, there was a whole bit there last week, I think with Maria, and Braun Strowman walked up, and Braun Strowman was, like, breathing on her, and she's like, are you crowding me? Because I think you're crowding me.
It was
she's
like a creepy way. It was just there.
Yeah, he was just there. And she's like, because my estrogen levels are really high and this, that, and the other. And she's like, what are you going to do, Braun? If you're the monster among men, why don't you show me? And
just like, oh, man, you just want to get on top for 3 seconds. Don't want to carry the baby. She went real weird.
Yeah, she went real hard, yeah. And Braun just breathed heavy real awkwardly. I'm not coming, I'm just breathing heavy.
You suck.
Sorry.
That was worth it.
But that's very much what that was.
Close that again.
And then there was another point somewhere where I think, that was it. I can't remember. But yeah, so it is... Oh, yeah, earlier in the night as well, I forgot to mention with the KO thing, Shane's getting introduced with the whole, like, the best in the world, and KO cut it off, and that was, like, the best. Thank you. He's like, you don't get that shit here. Anyway, so Daniel Bryan and Rowan versus Big E and Xavier Woods, just a standard match. It's going well for the most part. Obviously, Rowan gets in and just, like, brutalizes them. Big E has this beautiful counter to the LaBelle block, which I was like, yes, Big E, getting himself out of it. He did do this really weird thing where he, like, very lovingly put his hand through Daniel Bryan's hair, and I was like, Big E, like, is that an intimidation tactic, or are you just getting real onto this? Like,
No, it's a good psych out. I like it.
Yeah. But yeah, and then later in the match, Rowan is down, and literally halfway across the ring, Xavier Wood comes flying off the top rope in the corner onto him with this massive elbow drop. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, there's a big old Duzz fest going on. Everybody's fighting everybody. Like, Big E done like a big old suicide dive on Daniel Bryan. And Xavier Woods was about to do one on Rowan, but Rowan picked up the steps and hit him with it through the ring ropes. So that does obviously disqualify Bryan and Rowan, but they just didn't care. They were just there to hurt people. So they just, big old attack on the New Day, just left them decimated in the middle of the ring. So yeah, then we cut to backstage. Roman Reigns is walking and he comes past the men's locker room and busts in, kicks everybody out. He's like, everybody get out except for you, buddy. Sit down. Everybody leave right now.
Not Buddy Watson.
Not Buddy Watson. Buddy Murphy.
Tricked me, sucked me out.
Yep, our Buddy Murphy, our Aussie hero, who we haven't seen on screens in a little while. So
we haven't seen him at all on screens. He gets
saw him like 2 weeks ago when he was
at the
when Shane was like,
you
got something to say? Town Hall.
Yeah, the Town Hall meeting. That's right. Yeah.
So he's like, you know, I saw you in the hallway when that trellis come down. I saw you in the hallway when the car come down. He's like, you know something, or you're involved somehow. Tell me. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about, mate. And he's like,
yeah, that's going on, Buddy Murphy.
Yeah, nah, fucking, I don't even fucking know. Hey, like,
yeah,
nah. Yeah, nah, yeah. Oh, iconic. Yeah, nah, fucking yeah, nah. I'm gonna roll tonight. You should stay down there more. I'm kidding. But yeah, he's like, you know, but even if I did know Roman with that kind of attitude, I wouldn't even tell you anyway. So Roman just beats the shit out of him. He's like, that's the way you want to have it? Does. Just beats the living shit out of him. Eventually gets him, like, throwing him over tables and stuff.
Makes Buddy look like a giant dork.
Yeah, which was a bit of a bummer, but hopefully this leads to something cool for Buddy.
Doubt it.
But yeah, holds him up against the wall, and he's like, it was Rowan. And he's like, wait, you mean Daniel Bryan and Rowan? And he's like, yep, Rowan did it. I didn't see him. Daniel Bryan wasn't involved. I didn't see him anywhere.
Saying that though, because I didn't, obviously not watching SmackDown until this evening.
Yep, same.
I did see on Twitter, like, but I misread it as Roman. Like, Roman's gonna fight Roman?
No, who's
Like,
Roman?
that I'd like. No, that I'd like to see. I was like, Roman's been trying to kill Roman. This is fascinating.
Yeah.
Like, where could you take this?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, stabby pains. Oh, it sucks.
But yeah, so this does cut back to Rowan and Daniel Bryan standing in the ring, and Daniel Bryan's just sort of looking down, and Rowan's just looking questioningly. And that's the end of the show.
Yeah.
It just ended on that note. It was very interesting.
So that does bring us to the end of this week's episode of SmackDown Live. Let us know what you thought in the comments below, as well as the Discord and the Facebook group. Links are in the description. Jem,
Yes.
what do you think of this episode of SmackDown?
I thought it was good. I didn't enjoy it as much as I did enjoy Raw. If I had to call it, I'd call it right down the middle with one cut.
I would agree. I believe it is one solid. Hang on, my hand's getting caught in cables and shit.
One solid.
I may have stretched my shoulder.
Careful.
So now I want a bit of fun fact here. Dash has informed me that this is in fact the third week in a row that Vince McMahon has rocked up and straight up just rewrote the whole show.
Really?
Yeah, 3 weeks in a row.
Interesting.
Dash coming in with the facts.
Interesting.
Yeah. But actually, how do you want to do it? Do we hit the dirt sheet first, then we get SummerSlam predictions? What do you think?
I reckon predictions and dirt sheet.
Predictions, then dirt sheet. No worries. So this part you're going to hear from under the table.
Dun, dun, dun.
Coming this Monday to the WWE Network is the 2019 SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Let's run through that card and let's have a look at the predictions. We'll have a look at Takeover as well while we're here.
Okay.
As of right now, there is no mention of what is in the kick-off show, but we can safely presume that the Cruiserweight Championship will be there. It is Drew Gulak, who is the current champion, versus some dude named Oney Lorcan. I don't know. Nor do I give a fuck. Gulak can take
Because I've seen Gulak.
First match. We are obviously, at the moment, we cannot confirm the order, but this is just how they have been written down, according to CBS Sports. Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler.
Goldberg. He needs to redeem himself from Super Showdown.
That's exactly my reasoning here. Dolph Ziggler is an incredible worker, and I do think he kind of comes in when needed, and I think he will sell like a champ for Goldberg. I do believe that like Goldberg and hang on, side pain. And I'm back.
Killer just let us know that Lorcan is a 205 NXT talent.
I presume so. But yeah, I've not seen him. Wait, what have I missed? Nathan says this week's show was titty twistingly good. Well, I have been feeling that titty twist this whole time. So I do think partly when they agreed, like the likes of Goldberg and that agreed to the Saudi show, I think they may have been under the impression that it wasn't canon, and that it doesn't have any long-term effects or issues. And then he made a fuck out of himself, and everyone remembers, and it's certainly canon. So I think they've been giving him an option here to come back and try to do something better that doesn't involve in your own concussion.
Mm-hmm.
Next, The Fiend.
Ooh.
Bray Wyatt versus good old regular Finn Balor.
I reckon The Fiend for sure. If he's going to have his first big old comeback match, it has to be a huge one. And obviously we do know that Finn Balor is taking a break. So we all know where it's going.
Yeah, exactly. There, like with Finn, with this being the debut match for The Fiend, he is going over something fierce here. And I do think Finn Balor can also work for him as well. As you mentioned, the big benefit of him taking some time away, this would allow him to have the storyline of, he got his ass handed to him so hard that he had to go take some time to think about it. Saying that though, this is why my original expectation was for him to be the demon, because I do think having him lose as the demon, because as right now the demon has never lost, I think would add an additional layer to him taking that time away. Like he actually broke the what's I'm looking for, like what's it called? Psyche. He broke the psyche of the demon, and that's forcing him to take some time away. And What's the best way to put someone to put someone over? Have them defeat something that's undefeated.
Yeah.
Killer goes, I'm noting these predictions as well for the record. Thank you, Killer.
Amazing.
Let's see. Next up, Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. With the stipulation, if Kevin Owens does lose, he quits.
KO's not going
Owens
anywhere.
is winning 100%.
KO is not going anywhere. We know Shane is taking time away from the screen. But not just that, with KO's very recent return, he's not going anywhere anytime soon. His return was such a big build-up. There's no way they're getting rid of him that quickly.
I agree. Kevin Owens isn't going anywhere. He is taking that win, and it will be, I believe, this will also push Shane away for a little while, which will be very, very cool, make people very, very happy. It's the right move here. It makes Kevin look like sort of the people's guy. It's very cool.
Yeah, definitely.
United States Championship match. AJ Styles, who is the current champion, versus Rick O'Shea.
I reckon AJ's going to keep it a bit longer, just to bring some heat.
See, this is the thing. This is the problem here with me.
On the OC.
I'm gonna take the opposite here. I'm gonna go with Ricochet. Now, part of me does think that AJ Styles will very likely hold on to it to keeping the club look strong. However, Ricochet is getting a push, and we do know that Paul Heyman is quite a fan of him. So it is very likely that he may walk out with the belt, because having him lose a couple times in a row is not going to do the push that they want it to be. So it is within the right idea to have Ricochet win.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but
yeah, I do think you are correct. But for fun, so we're not picking the same things.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go Ricochet here.
Interesting.
Next up, Charlotte Flair versus Trish Stratus.
Trish Stratus, 100%. Hometown hero. She's gonna win. She's a legend. I don't want her to. So, I'm torn. I love Charlotte. I want to see Charlotte take the win, but Charlotte doesn't need to get over. I think this would be a great way for Trish to go out, but at the same time, we all know if somebody's doing their last match, like a legend, they always
because that's what
lose
we've come to learn. We've come to learn that this may, in fact, be her last match.
She has confirmed that it will be.
Yeah, so she has confirmed will be her last match, which, this is the interesting thing. Like, there is that rule within wrestling that you go out on your last match, you put someone over. But it's that weird situation of Charlotte Flair doesn't need to go over. She's the 9-time women's champion. I believe she holds one of the records for the most
yeah,
women's
Trish only had it 7 times.
So, why would she need to go over here in order to prove a point? It doesn't make sense. My only prediction here is that someone gets involved, whether it be the likes of Sasha Banks returning, or just someone getting involved here.
Yeah.
I can only presume it's to be a DQ finish.
Yeah. But if we have to pick someone, I'd say Trish.
If I have to pick, it's
the DQ
Charlotte.
will go.
Charlotte's getting the win.
Yeah, I see. I think the DQ will go to Charlotte, meaning Trish will win. Killer has just said he has Styles winning the match because of predictions later on.
We'll get to that. But you think Trish will come out the victor. I think Charlotte will come out the victor.
Okay.
Very much so.
Very tough.
Which is interesting, but it's that weird. The logic behind it doesn't make sense. But I do believe this was just a temporary storyline as they head into the reboot. Yeah. Next up, the SmackDown Women's Championship match: Bayley versus Ember Moon.
I think the title's going to go to Ember Moon.
Really? What makes you think that?
I think there's more we can do with Ember Moon. Bayley's falling flat. The crowd are super flat on her. Everybody seems to be up for Ember Moon. I think it'd be awesome to see the belt on Ember Moon, even for a short amount of time. I'd like to see where it takes it, because obviously Ember does have that feud with Mandy and Sonya. That could lead to a feud there, and we could have a feud change hands. I don't think Bayley's got anyone else to go for.
I agree. I think that's part of it. I do certainly think that what may happen here, this is this tough situation. So until the day she comes back, Sasha Banks has been in literally every rumor for every pay-per-view until she comes back. So I do wonder whether she'll have an involvement in this match.
It's tricky.
It is very tricky, because it makes me go, okay, would she then assist Bayley and help her out? That would be, logical. I do kind of think that we would need heel Sasha Banks. I think that it will come back as how she would be. But then maybe She comes in and jacks up Bailey to give Bailey the DQ win. So Ember still loses.
Oh,
Bailey
champion
retains
advantage. It doesn't change
champion's
hands.
advantage. And then that'll begin the new feud between Bailey and Sasha. Because I know that's sort of been hot demanded for a while. And as there is currently, the Horseman plans seem to have fallen flat. It doesn't. There's no need for them to be bros. Right now.
That's fair.
Where that is the case, I think Bailey will retain, whether it be by DQ, champion's advantage, or something like that.
Yeah.
Raw Women's Championship: Becky Lynch versus Natalya in a submission match.
I know it's Natty's hometown, but I have a funny feeling we're going to see the Montreal Screwjob again. But the Montreal Scissor Job.
Oh, hot.
Look, I think Natty is going to tap out to the disarm her. I think Becky's going to lock it in tight enough that she's not going to be able to counter it. And I think, or Becky's going to use her own sharpshooter against her.
That would be a bit dirty. I like it. So I'm thinking here. I don't think Becky's losing the belt anytime soon. I think it would work in their advantage, especially
because she's on the cover.
She's on the cover of 2K20. She's not losing that belt anytime
But she is on the cover without her title.
But she's not. Yeah, that's true. She's not on the cover, but neither was AJ Styles. He was the champion at the time, and he's not holding the belt on the cover.
Yeah.
I think she will hold on to it. Once again, the rumor mills from the likes of Dash is that Ronda Rousey was potentially getting involved. She has been showing a lot of interest on her socials and her YouTubes about returning to the ring. So that could certainly happen.
Who was that? Sorry.
Who?
Who was that?
Ronda Rousey.
Oh yeah, Ronda Rousey.
So whether she will or not is a little bit different. I like the idea of it more than the execution of it. This is the same thing. Like, the problem that we're having here is it's not 50-50 booking. It's just this. Why would either of these people need to lose?
Yeah.
Like, it's that weird situation. So we're not going to see Natalya take the win here.
Well, Killer has a different opinion.
Yeah, what's Killer thinking?
Killer reckons Natalya is going to win because Becky has cooled off after the whole Lacey feud.
Yes.
Natalya taking, obviously like the crowd's gone a bit cool to her, which means Natalya taking the title in her hometown puts Becky back on the chase, which means people are going to want her again.
I do agree with that. I do think Becky was far better chasing the championship than when she's holding it, because she did have this real potential to be like almost the lady Stone Cold, and they really fumbled it, and it's a bummer. And it's almost like we had no confidence in delivering that, instead giving that role back to Kevin. It's a real shame. So I do think there may be something there. What's your prediction? What are you going with, Jem?
Well, now that Killer's mentioned that, being her hometown match as well.
So that's a pop right there.
Yeah, most people do win in their hometown, so now I'm sort of teetering towards Natty.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna
even
hold
if
firm.
It is only temporarily.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold firm. I do think Becky will keep this one. I believe that brings us to the final match of the night, which is the Universal. Oh no, I take that back. Two more to go. WWE...
Just quickly, sorry.
Yeah.
Killer does say also, if there ever is a time to take the title off Becky, you have the perfect opportunity to do so now.
That is true. That is very true.
Because the crowd has gone a bit mild.
And it is SummerSlam too. So it's one of the big four. It makes more sense than her losing it at like Extreme Rules or Clash of Champions or something. WWE Championship match: Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton.
Oof. I want Randy to win, but long-term storytelling, retribution story. Kofi's always got his comeback story, so Kofi is walking out the champion still.
So this is that weird situation. Kofi could come out of this as a loser and still look strong because it's Randy. Randy has established himself to be a really fucking gnarly dude. So it's very similar to what we had with Joe at Extreme Rules. Like, Kofi could have lost and it would have made sense. But as you mentioned, with this long form storytelling that they're going, And yeah, this whole Randy tried to snuff me out in the past, but here I am now pushing through. Kofi's retaining, even though I do think Kofi needs to lose the belt soon, and this would be a good way for it to happen. I think he's retaining for this one.
Yeah, so do I. Because, obviously we have had Randy talk about using his influence back in the day. Randy doesn't have that influence anymore. So I don't think he has anybody who can help stomp Kofi out, because Kofi is the one with the influence now.
That's correct. And finally, the Universal Championship, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
I reckon Seth Rollins is going to win.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon it's going to be a clean win. He's going to be injured as shit. But I definitely think Seth, because obviously his last win off Brock Lesnar was a very dirty win. It wasn't a good match at all. I think it's going to be like a retribution match. And Seth is going to have a very clean, very, very safe win.
I agree that the situation. Well, in terms of if he does have the win, it better be a clean win. Having him win dirty at WrestleMania kind of eliminates that as an option here, because there is. I do feel there is some fatigue of repetition here, and if they have the exact same result in terms of the Bussin and the Dick getting the win, people aren't going to be too happy. However, the problem here is if Brock does retain, this has to put an end to Seth Rollins, right? As in terms of the storyline.
Yeah.
Who is replacing him? There is no one. There is no one that's been built up on Raw to be in a position to take on Brock Lesnar. There is literally no one. It's not happening.
No.
So the only answer here is that Seth wins. But Seth is looking like such a dork right now.
Yeah, dingus.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good for him to be the winner here.
Killer did just add Kofi winning also legitimizes his title reign because he's defended against a very strong opponent.
He's also defended against quite a number of strong opponents. So it's that weird line here. Killer also jumps in and goes, so my prediction is with Brock winning, because Ricochet loses to Styles, I could see them really strapping the rocket to him and giving him that massive push.
Ooh, I
like that so much better.
Paul Heyman is so behind Ricochet that I wouldn't doubt Paul putting him in a match against Brock.
Ooh.
Shit, yeah.
Ooh. You've tickled something there, Killer. I think you've tickled something good.
Yeah, you've got my cogs are turning now.
Yeah, so that brings us to the end of that. So with not I should also mention 2K19 predictions. It did predict that Seth Rollins gets the win, Kofi retains, Natalia wins, Bayley retains, Trish Stratus wins, Goldberg wins. Fiend wins by Mandible Claw.
Ooh.
AJ retains. Kevin Owens wins. I think that was about it. We were going to look at NXT TakeOver. I'm pretty confident the Undisputed Era are going to come out with all the belts. So that includes the NXT Championship with the best 2 out of 3 falls with special stipulations from Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano. There is the United States Championship triple threat with Roderick Strong versus Velveteen Dream versus Pete Dunne. That would be an excellent match. I guarantee it's probably be match of the night. We've got the NXT Tag Team Championship match with the Street Profits versus the Undisputed Era, which in this case is Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. There is the Women's Championship match, which is Shayna Baszler versus Mia Yim. I do think Shayna does need to move up soon, so it wouldn't be it would actually be quite interesting if, as she's one of the member of the Four Horsewomen of the MMA, she could in fact UFC. She could be the one that gets involved against Charlotte with the Trish Stratus Charlotte. That's something that certainly could happen. Very unlikely, very very unlikely.
Yeah,
but it would be cool. And the 5th match being a grudge match between Candice LeRae and Io Shirai. I think it'll be a good match as well, but I'm just not super on it because I said I'm super behind in NXT.
Yeah.
How do you think it's going to go, Jem, just quickly?
I think I don't know because I'm super behind as well. Yeah, I don't know. I can't say it this time.
No worries. Let us know what your predictions are for this year's SummerSlam. Comments below, Facebook group, Discord. Now we will be likely chatting on the Discord. It's probably on the Monday night, as we all kind of watch it because a lot of us are at work during the day. We'll be watching it that evening.
Come get around it. Join the wrestling
But
conversation.
then before we do get into that pay-per-view, that we need to get through the last minute behind the scenes dirty dish information, and this is a section we call Dish in the Dirt with Dirt Sheet Dash.
Dirty dash sheet.
Dirty Dash in the sheet. He puts facts and they're in the sheet. So he does add that wrestling's really boring right now. There's not a whole lot of backstage news going on, which is a big shame. Number one. Roman versus Daniel Bryan is not happening.
Whoa.
Because there is talk that WWE won't be doing a planned Roman Reigns versus Daniel Bryan match at SummerSlam, or with 9 matches on the card, it makes sense. Twitter account at WrestleVotes noted that WWE could end up adding Reigns versus Buddy Murphy to the card at the last minute.
Yeah.
Quote, there were discussions last night about adding Roman Reigns versus Buddy to the SummerSlam card after the angle that went down on SmackDown. But it remains a possibility as we get closer to the show this weekend. What do you think?
I could see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they pulled Daniel Bryan from. That came... Oh, because the whole Roman angle.
Yeah.
I reckon it'd probably be... If they were going to throw that in last minute, I think it'd be smarter to put him up against Buddy Murphy as opposed to Daniel Bryan. Because Buddy Murphy did say Daniel Bryan wasn't involved.
Downside here means Buddy Murphy's taking an L.
Yeah, he's taking a big old L.
That's a big shame.
But at least he's getting friggin' pay-per-view time.
That's true. That's very, very true.
I
would like to see that. It would be a good kickoff show match. However,
Yeah.
whether would they put Roman Reigns in the kickoff show? Unlikely.
Yeah, that's true too.
Now, one person that I was very baffled to see that they weren't on the TakeOver card is Matt Riddle.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got some information here.
Oh.
Matt Riddle needs to shut his mouth, says Dash. During his recent podcast, Booker T addressed the online feud between Matt Riddle and Chris Jericho.
Oh.
Quote, I don't know how I should take it. Booker said when asked about Riddle's comments, I know if I was a young guy in the business and someone like Chris Jericho gave me a little bit of advice, be that as it may where the guy is working right now, but if Chris Jericho was to give me some words of advice, he might be one of the guys to listen to just because of the career that he's had. When The Rock said, know your role and shut your mouth, you know that's true. Know your role and you shut your mouth, Booker continued. When guys back in the day didn't know their role, they didn't last very long in the business.
Mm-hmm, that's true.
Matt Riddle has been very vocal on Twitter in the past. He did do a big old call out of Goldberg around Super Showdown. He's getting out there. He's saying a lot of things. Whether they be good, bad, or not, he is certainly saying things. I think Matt Riddle is probably a little too good to have them drop him like this, as you know, for talking. But
yeah,
hey, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And finally, in a big last piece, Roman Reigns has some strong words for AEW.
What?
And wait, did we mention last week that they're having the show for AEW? Was that last week when they announced the TV show?
Yes, I think so. I
Yeah.
think it was announced last
Yeah,
week.
so it's announced. It's happening in Washington. They've already sold out. They sold out in 3 hours.
Amazing.
AEW, the first show is going to be dope.
Yeah.
In an interview with sportl.de, Roman Reigns addressed the launch of AEW and the recent shots taken at WWE. I'll be damned if anyone is going to disrespect what we do here, especially within our company, Reigns explained. If you're within our walls, within our locker room, and not handling your business the right way, I have no problem with stepping up. I fear no man, and if you don't like what I'm coming from, there's a couple of options we can do. I firmly believe in the history that my family has had in this business, the relationship they have had with the McMahons and WWE, and I'll be damned if anyone disrespects our way of life. I've been fed, and I've fed my family for years now from this meal plan, and I'm not going to let anyone step on that. If that makes me a locker room leader, then yeah, you can call me that. I think Seth Rollins is being generous in calling them a competition. I don't want to get too deep into this, but I've said it before, it's an option, and that's great for professional wrestling. Pretty cool for fans, and I agree. Before my family was WWE only, we've been a territorial family. You had to move, work with different promotions and territories, Reigns said. I'm always going to be pro wrestler, but at the end of the day, WWE is my home. It's what I represent, and we're so far ahead. You can see it in other shows. It's not easy to have a clean production, Reigns continued. You have to have a lot of experience, and our talent is top notch. We've got main eventers for days, but it also is our crew. They're busting their asses all night to get the show running. There are so many people that make this place work. When you see other people out there trying to do it, you see the flaws, and it makes you respect what we do even more. It's easy to complain, to say this was on paper, but when it's time to go out there and actually do it, nobody will do it like WWE, period.
That's questionable.
She's very interesting here, like on the heels of Seth Rollins having a big old rant about, Dean Ambrose or now Jon Moxley, with the whole like he's taking food from my table sort of thing. It does really show that the Roman Reigns, even though he may be a WWE man, he's not shit at it. It's very good.
Yeah.
As I see Killer in the chat, guys, it kind of makes me sense for Riddle to not be on the card because they already have 5 matches, which is the standard takeover length. That is true. And that's sort of like that part makes sense. It was just more of a like, why is he not involved in the title match? But I think there was that match with Dream at the last takeover, I think. There's that too. I'm gonna quickly put my shirt back on so I can slink in and do the outro. Jem, what's your thoughts on the Roman Reigns?
I think WWE superstars are paying too much mind to AEW at this point. I think, like Booker T said about Matt Riddle, and like The Rock has always said, know your role and shut your mouth. Like it's not your place to say anything. I obviously know, they took that dig at Triple H and stuff like that at the first pay-per-view and whatnot. I think...
Oh, I got up too quick.
Careful. I think, just leave it be. Like, leave sleeping dogs lie. Like, they're not targeting you guys right now, so just sort of pull your head in and just let them do their thing. Like, sure, you're good at it, but your attendance says otherwise. Like, if you keep talking shit like that, you're just going to get buried by your own universe.
That is very true.
Nobody's showing up.
Yeah, like, it
doesn't matter how good your production is if you're not getting people there to watch it.
Man, it's weird how, like, just having the shirt on is like this, like, almost like a sensory overload for my boob. It's really, really jarring. But yeah, no, it's an interesting thing. I'm not sure how they're going to go with it, but, yeah, we got to do with Roman. But that brings us to the end of this week's episode of The Young and the Wrestlers. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been an interesting show, as I spent half of it on the ground, and I'm in lots of pain. This includes every Friday morning at 8 a.m. on your podcast services, 9 a.m. on the YouTubes. If you want to join us and have the wrestling chats live, head over to patreon.com/popcultures. Support us at any dollar value. You can watch the show, get involved with the chats.
Get around it.
Man, I got up way too fast. I got super dizzy. Whew. If you want to support us in more one-star fashion, head over to thepopcultures.com/shop. We wear shirts like this and other assorted shit with our logos on it. We are also on Twitch at twitch.tv/thepopculturists.
You can tweet us personally too.
Oh, of course, you can tweet us personally. I'm at HaggardMC, HAGGARDMC. It does appear under our name. It is in the description below. Jem is Jem the Piercer.
Jem with a J.
Yep, that's right. I was trying to convince you that should be the name if you've ever owned your own piercing store. Yeah. It should just be called at Jem the Piercer. But that's not your plans. Which is a shame, because I think that would be genius.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's a brand. I'm a brand.
But until the next one, I'm Ryan Betson.
And I did it for The Rock. I did it for the people. I'm Jem.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.